The restaurant hummed with quiet conversation and the soft clink of wine glasses. Golden light from hanging lamps pooled on white tablecloths, creating small islands of warmth in the dim space. Marcus Hayes sat at table 12, running his thumb along the stem of his water glass. He'd arrived 15 minutes early, which gave him plenty of time to second-guess everything. His navy suit felt too formal. His hair, freshly cut that afternoon, felt too short. Even his choice of restaurant now seemed wrong, too fancy, too presumptuous for a first date arranged by his sister's well-meaning meddling. "She's perfect for you," Jennifer had insisted 3 weeks ago. "Sarah's kind, she's smart, and she just moved back to town. You two have so much in common." Marcus had resisted at first. Blind dates carried too much pressure, too many expectations packed into a single evening. But Jennifer wore him down with her enthusiasm, and truthfully, Marcus was tired of eating dinner alone. At 32, his life had become comfortable but small: work, gym, home, repeat. Maybe it was time to let someone in. When Sarah Chen walked through the restaurant door, Marcus felt his anxiety spike and settle all at once. She was exactly as Jennifer described: warm brown eyes, an easy smile, dark hair falling past her shoulders. She wore a red dress that caught the candlelight as she moved toward him. "Marcus?" She extended her hand, and her grip was confident. "I'm so sorry I'm late. Traffic on the bridge was a nightmare." "No, you're fine. It was early." Marcus stood, nearly knocking over his water glass in the process. They both laughed, and the ice broke a little. Sarah settled into her chair, and they began the careful dance of first-date conversation. She worked in marketing for a tech company downtown. He managed logistics for a shipping firm. She'd lived in Portland for 5 years before returning home. They never left, except for college in Boston. They both loved hiking, though neither had been in months. They both claimed to enjoy cooking, though Marcus suspected they were both exaggerating. The conversation flowed easily enough, but something nagged at Marcus. Sarah kept glancing at her phone, which sat face up beside her menu. Not constantly, but regularly enough that he noticed. A small foe appeared between her eyebrows before she looked back up with a bright smile that seemed to require effort. Their waitress appeared, a young woman with blonde hair pulled into a messy bun and kind eyes that crinkled at the corners when she smiled. Her name tag read Emma. "Good evening, folks. Can I start you off with something to drink?" Sarah ordered a glass of Cabernet. Marcus asked for the same, hoping it made him seem decisive rather than uninventive. Emma wrote down their order, her pen moving quickly across her notepad. She disappeared toward the bar, and the conversation continued. Marcus asked about Sarah's family. She asked about his work. They discovered they'd both attended Lincoln High School, though she was 2 grades behind him. The coincidences piled up: they knew some of the same people, had been to some of the same places, moved through the same city like parallel lines that never quite intersected until now. When Emma returned with their wine, she leaned close to Marcus's side of the table. In one smooth motion, she set down his glass and slipped a folded piece of paper beside his bread plate. Her fingers lingered for just a moment on the paper's edge, a gentle pressure that said, "This is important." Marcus's eyes met hers, and she gave the smallest shake of her head, barely perceptible, but clear. Then she straightened, smiled broadly at both of them, and asked if they were ready to order. "Can you give us a few more minutes?" Sarah asked, her attention already back on the menu. "Of course. Take your time." Emma walked away, glancing back once before disappearing into the kitchen. The folded paper sat beside Marcus's plate like a small white secret. His heart began to beat faster. Every instinct told him to ignore it, to slide it off the table into his lap and forget it existed. But Emma's eyes had held something urgent, something concerned. Sarah was talking about her apartment search, how impossible it was to find anything affordable near downtown. Marcus made appropriate sounds of agreement while his mind spun. What could the note possibly say? Was this some kind of joke? A warning? "I need to run to the restroom," Sarah said suddenly, standing and gathering her purse. "Order the calamari if she comes back?" Ella trust your judgment. Marcus nodded, watching her weave between tables toward the back of the restaurant. The moment she disappeared, he unfolded the note with shaking hands. The message was written in quick, slanted handwriting, "She's not who you think." Marcus stared at the words until they blurred. His mind raced through possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. Was Sarah married? Was she scamming him somehow? He looked at her phone, still sitting on the table, its screen dark and revealing nothing. Emma reappeared, moving quickly to his table. She kept her voice low and urgent. "I'm sorry to intrude, but I had to tell you. That woman, she's been here before. 3 times this month. Different guy each time." Emma's eyes held genuine concern. The last time, she left with the guy's wallet. Claimed she was going outside to take a call and just disappeared. It was devastated. Marcus felt the floor tilt beneath him. "Are you sure it's the same person?" "Positive. I never forget a face, and definitely not someone who stiffed my coworker on a $200 tab." Emma glanced toward the restroom. "Look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she has a twin or something. But I couldn't watch another nice guy get played without saying something." "Thank you," Marcus managed. Thank you." Emma nodded and hurried away, leaving Marcus alone with the note and his racing thoughts. He looked at Sarah's wine glass with its perfect lipstick print, her phone with its dark screen, her menu still open to the entree page. Every detail suddenly seemed suspicious, carefully staged. When Sarah returned, her smile seemed different, sharper somehow, more calculated. Or maybe Marcus was just seeing what Emma had planted in his mind. "Everything okay?" Sarah asked, sliding back into her seat. "You look pale." Marcus made a decision. "Actually, I'm not feeling well. Something I ate at lunch, maybe." They like him easier than he expected. "I'm so sorry, but I think I should head home before it gets worse." Disappointment flashed across Sarah's face, followed by something that might have been irritation. "Oh. That's unfortunate. Sold we reschedule?" "I'll text you," Marcus said, already standing. He pulled out his wallet and left $60 on the table, enough to cover the wine and Emma's trouble. "I'm really sorry." Outside, the cool night air hit his face like a blessing. Marcus walked quickly to his car, his hands still shaking slightly as he unlocked the door. He sat in the driver's seat for a long moment, staring at the restaurant's glowing windows. His phone buzzed. A text from Jennifer, asterisco, "How's it going?" Asterisco. Marcus typed slowly, asterisco, "Interesting. We'll call you tomorrow, asterisco." He started the engine and pulled out of the parking lot, already composing the conversation he'd need to have with his sister. The evening hadn't gone as planned, but as he drove home through the quiet streets, Marcus felt something unexpected, gratitude. For Emma's intervention, for his own instincts, for the narrow escape from what might have been a much worse night. Tomorrow he'd research what Emma told him, maybe find out if Sarah Chan was really who she claimed to be. Tonight, he'd just go home, pour himself a real drink, and appreciate the simple safety of his small,